It's cold out, and in the winter months, I love a hot drink. We're doing a lot of hot drinks this winter, and we're gonna do another one. We're gonna do a staple of hot, boozy beverages. We're gonna do the Hot Toddy, the granddaddy of them all. And we have to stipulate, of course, when we say hot toddy, that it's a hot toddy. But once upon a time, I'm talking like the mid-1800s, toddy just was toddy. It was a hot drink. It was how cocktails were drank prior to the ice trade being ubiquitous. You know, it was a long time ago before refrigeration. Ice had to be harvested in mostly New England, because that's where the ice kings were, the ice magnates. Harvested in the winter months, stored in blockhouses or ice houses, and shipped around the world, as far as India, in insulated sailing ships, so that people could have cold drinks. It's crazy to think how that industry worked and that it worked. Until that was really a thing, though, all cocktails were pretty much hot. It's the only way to drink them. As a matter of fact, it was the introduction of ice that led bartenders to stop using granulated sugar in drinks. They started to have to make simple syrups, various syrups, because otherwise they wouldn't blend into the cocktail, which is why I think it's kind of an anachronism to use a sugar cube in either your old-fashioned or your Peychaud's Bitters goes in a, or in your Sazerac, because the truth is that once those drinks became cold, they really should be using simple syrup to be properly incorporated. So we're gonna make a hot toddy. It's a real simple drink. I'm gonna build it in the glass. I like a hot toddy made with monkey shoulder scotch, okay? I think you can make a great hot toddy with bourbon, with a good bourbon. You can make a pretty decent hot toddy with a not so great bourbon too. And I mean, my hot toddy is kind of a hot old fashioned. I mean, strictly speaking, a hot toddy should be, there should not be bitters in it. I like a little bitters in my toddy. It should just be the sugar, the whiskey, and some hot water. And if you add a twist of lemon, at least according to an old bartender's guide I have, it becomes a whiskey skin, which I think is a great name for a drink. And that's how I like mine, with a little twist of lemon. So I'm gonna place my toddy cup there. Now I'm using this because it's clear and has light going through it and stuff and looks really pretty, and it's the official, proper, right and good glass to be using. But I drink these out of coffee mugs all the time. Nothing wrong with that. Where'd my jigger go? Oh, it's in front of my face. So I've got my jigger, I've got my whiskey, or in this case, scotch. In we go. I'm gonna do a ½ ounce pour of this Demerara syrup. In truth, though, you could use granulated sugar in this because it is hot and it'll dissolve really well. There's no reason you shouldn't. But if you have a good stockpile of syrups made, why upset the apple cart? That's a little bit sweet. You could easily scale that back to as little as a bar spoon or none if you prefer to. I like 2 dashes of Angostura Bitters in my hot toddy. A little bit against the toddy rules. I'm hoping that the Toddy Makers Association of America doesn't come after me. And then I'm gonna pour in 4 ounces of nearly boiling water from my tea kettle. Oh, look at that steam going. What I'm doing right now is a crazy person's thing. I'm measuring real hot water with an all-metal jigger, but I'm doing it in such a way that the heat can't really transfer to my fingers. But God, just use something else for real, like use a Pyrex measuring cup, or heck, just eyeball it right up to the rim there of the glass. You don't really need to, it's not rocket science. So I'm gonna give this a quick stir using one of my glass stirring rods or a spoon or whatever. And I'm glad that I am, because I can even see on the bottom that there was a little bit of incorporating left to do from the sugar. I'm gonna steal a lemon from my Set Decorations lemons, and I'm gonna rip a twist off of this. We're gonna give that a good squeeze. Oh, that was a juicy lemon skin. Drop it in there. And that's it, that's it. That's the whole shebango. Hot toddy, simple drink. If you complicate this, it kind of becomes something else. And technically a whiskey skin, right? So this is a whiskey skin with bitters, because I threw that lemon peel in there. But if I made this video called How to Make a Whiskey Skin, nobody would watch it because nobody knows what the heck that is. So the nose, delicious, okay? What is that? Lemon, fresh. It's like lemon and spice. There is like a holiday kind of vibe going on in that. Let's give it a taste. Oh, it just melts you. It's so good. Wow. It's sweet. With a half an ounce in there, that's on the sweet side. I could scale that back, but there is just something so homey and wonderful about that combination of ingredients. Oh my God. It just hangs out right here around my tonsils and tastes so good, and it just warms everything all the way down. The flavor, the Demerara shines, honestly. You get those caramel notes real strong, but they're not on their own. They are intermingled with the malty, whiskey sweetness that the monkey shoulder carries, which is a different kind of sweet, you know, as a cereally, malty flavor. And then that gives away to the very subtle, very slight leather notes. Very, very slight. I love that. That is my it's a delicious, perfect hot toddy. I don't know what else to say about it. I wouldn't change a damn thing in this glass. That's how I make a hot toddy. I'd love to hear about how you make a hot toddy. And so, I will see you guys next week with another episode of How to Drink. And if you like the show, please subscribe. If you want to hear me ramble like a moron more often, you can check out my Twitter. It's at HowToDrink with a number. And my Instagram is at HowToDrink with a number 2. It's not a bad place to check out. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/howtodrink. Anyway, that's the show. I'll see you guys next week with another cocktail on How to Drink. Thank you very much. Good night. This is like episode 6. I'm pretty hammered now. For you, those of you who like to guess how many we've shot today, this many. So, good night. But I'm not done. Whee!